Greetings, Guardians! This is everything you need to know for Week 14 of Season of the Wish. Reset info, Riven's wishes, a TWID recap, Eververse, and much more. Let's start with Week 5 of the Riven's Wishes quest. To pick it up, visit Marasov in the Helm. For this one, you are tasked to defeat 60 taken bosses or Paurk. To find Paurk the Farseer's heir, you'll have to wait in Ria Silvia for the Saboteur special enemy to spawn. When they do, you'll charge and deliver an awoken relic to a statue off in the distance to summon the boss. Then charge more relics and throw them at Paurk to remove their shield to damage them. I'll leave Esoteric's video guide in the description for more details on the exact pathing. Remember, Riven's Wishes are free to all players, so don't skip out on free, powerful loot. For more details, check out my dedicated guide. In some shocking news, that excellent Humble Bundle Destiny DLC bundle is still live for another week. So if you're missing any of the expansions or trying to get you or a friend into the game before the final shape, then follow the link in the description to get access to nearly all DLCs for $40. Another thing worth noting here. Come March 5th, the Prophecy Dungeon will be getting a loot revamp, which will have 3 weapons leave its loot pool: a Swift Verdict, the Long Walk, and the Last Breath. So this is your last chance to possibly get a roll before they are gone. Now for our normal recent information, this week enjoy double rewards on a win in the Crucible, which will also work in Trials this weekend. For your weekly Crucible playlists, you have Control, Clash, and Showdown, with this being the last week of Relic and Crucible Labs. Over in the Vanguard, the Ops playlist has Void and Strand Surges, and the weekly Nightfall is Birthplace of the Vile, featuring Unstoppable and Overload champions, Void Threat, Strand and Solar Surges, and Overcharged Fusions. To get that loaded question fusion rifle, tackle this Nightfall on higher difficulties and strive for platinum rewards. The Adept version is available on GM difficulty. For extra pinnacles and farmable gear, the weekly featured raid is Root of Nightmares. The dungeon is that of Ghosts of the Deep, and the weekly exotic mission is Presage, with its opulent and haunted gear. In Crota's End, the 4th encounter challenge, All for One, is active, tasking you to bring down Crota's shield within 5 seconds of doing damage to it. Over on Neomuna, look out for the Vex Strike Force public events in the Zephyr Concourse Vex Incursion Zone. The Partition mission is Backdoor, and the campaign mission is Breakneck, great for getting a guaranteed Neomuna red border. For those looking to farm Legend and Master Lost sectors for exotics and multi-perk world drop weapons, on screen is the weekly rotation, with the active surges being Strand and Solar. Lastly, Dares of Eternity's in Loot Rotation 1, featuring gear from Season of the Hunt. With that, onto the news. Last week's TWID held a lot of juicy information regarding upcoming PvP changes and the reasoning behind all their different systems. Since it is a lot of info and numbers, I highly recommend you read it for yourself. But let's go over some highlights. Come March 5th, they are addressing map spawn traps and removing backfield spawns on bigger maps. 3 new maps will be added in May and are built with 3v3 game modes in mind. Artifice armor is coming as competitive rewards. Previously exclusive to Master Dungeons, this armor features a special mod socket that grants a free +3 to any stat. You'll earn this after completing the 3rd weekly comp challenge, with extra drops on wins thereafter. In Trials of Osiris, they are adding a new Passage of Persistence, which will give players the weekly Adept weapon without having to go flawless. To entice players to form 3-man fire teams, you'll get an additional drop chance at the weekly Trials weapon, Trials engrams, and some more rep. In Crucible Labs, it'll be updated to a new mode called Collision, basically King of the Hill, but this time testing out a new ammo crate system. In the future, OG Checkmate will be added to Labs, along with a new modifier called Hardware. Basically, no abilities, only weapons. The next part of the TWID goes over issues with the sandbox and matchmaking, which offers welcome info regarding rank-based matchmaking for comp, open skill, aka connection-based for certain playlists, outlier protection in Iron Banner and Control, the removal of loose skill-based matchmaking, and fireteam-based matchmaking in Trials. Outside of PvP, updates to relic location settings for console, dead zone for controllers, and opacity for the radar. Additionally, the Prophecy Dungeon is getting a loot refresh, rotating 3 weapons in and out. All 6 weapons in the loot pool will have updated perks, a new origin trait, and new encounters they drop in. And then this week, expect more details on the upcoming Guardian Games event. Rounding things out, the crafting restriction regarding the Last Wish weapons for non-Forsaken owners will be addressed in the March 5th update. Now let's check in with our vendors. Banshee's current weapons are kind of trash, but maybe you think they're good. As a reminder, his weapon inventory doesn't refresh at the daily reset, so his inventory might be different whenever you view this video. For focusing your gunsmith engrams, this is the weekly rotation of Foundry weapons, which changes at the daily reset. Over at 801, weekly armor sets are Hero Camo for Warlocks, Retrograde TG2 for Titans, and Dead End Cure 2.1 for Hunters, with their shaders being Rasmussen Clan, New Pacific Rush, and Dead Orbit's Fate. Checking in with the Bright Dust section of Eververse, there are a couple of new emotes and sparrows, with the rest being items from seasons past. Everything will scroll on screen now. With that, enjoy a calm week before the big March 5th update. New loot to chase, guarding games, and a big overhaul to the Crucible. Definitely worth checking out. Because we are getting so many new weapons, I'm going to hold off on launching my weapon spreadsheet and recommendations. That way everything is up to date. So probably not much else from me this week, but tune in next week to see what's up with that new loot. In any case, if you liked today's video, leave a like, subscribe for future Destiny content, and come swing by the Sundial Gaming Discord if you want to meet new Guardians and dive into some endgame activities. As always, I am your Commander Pika. Be kind, have fun, and I'll see you on the battlefield.